Market Monday, a late night upload, but this might be the longest Market Monday, and I think the best Market Monday we'll have so far this year. I have a lot of stuff to go over. I'm looking into content to the future. We got a content schedule prediction graphic that I made. I'm throwing it back to the old school Market Mondays, but let's get right into it with the content schedule for this week. Very bare bones, very straightforward. Collector Series, which dropped today, which we'll go over once we're actually in Madden. Season 3, that is on Wednesday. The reveal for that is tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern on the Good Morning Madden stream. Team of the Week also for Wednesday. Most Feared Release 2. That reveal stream is the 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then Legends. So nothing really to go off there. We did get a tweet from NFL Direct kind of going over the whole BND Tristan McCollum situation. I'll be honest, I have no clue if we're going to eventually get this card. I don't understand why EA does not just put him in the store for 1 coin. They have the easiest layup of all time to kind of take bad optics of this whole situation and go from being the villain to being the hero. All it takes is them not being stubborn, just giving the card to the entire community instead of prolonging the situation way longer than it has to be. And, every day people don't have this card. His lifespan on your team becomes shorter and shorter. So we'll see. They also boosted the CPU and the head-to-head events to where you get more candy, I believe. So that's always good. But yeah. Hopefully we get more of a understanding of the whole McCollum situation on the stream for Season 3 tomorrow evening. Now getting into MUT Leaks. So we have a few things. We do not have the Season 3 players. MUT Leaks actually put out a reply today that they're not loaded in yet, which has me worried that Season 3 won't be dropping on time, but it is what it is. It looks like their max overall is likely 92 overall, which to me says it's another short season, which I like. We'll probably only go into the middle to late November, because that's when I have 92 overalls coming into the game. We'll get into that eventually. We also got some news. Team Diamond animation is scheduled to come into the game with a title update on Wednesday. That usually means Team Diamonds is going to be happening sometime during the duration of Season 3, which again, is not ASAP, it's not in a week or two, but it's soon. It's soon. That's all I will say. And then the rest of that, we got, of course, the Legends for this weekend. Forrest Gregg, Leroy Glover, so that's a right tackle and an edge rusher. Again, we do not have Season 3 players, but let's now go over a gauntlet player, Darnell Washington. I don't expect that card to be too good. Speed-wise, it'll probably be lower than what you would think. But here, we have I don't know if we went over every single one of these players. I think we went over like half of them when I did my Market Monday last week, but here is your entire list, I think, of all the players that are supposed to be dropping throughout the remainder of Most Feared. I think there are some shapeshifter cards like James Harrison, Jason Kelsey that might be potentially dropping as well alongside these cards. But just to give some predictions for what actual cards drop during Most Feared Part 2, I think Lamar Jackson is like a mortal lock. The quarterback or the king player seems to be Joe Burrow. That's more than likely dropping around Halloween time. We also didn't get a quarterback for Part 1. So I think Lamar Jackson, automatic, guaranteed to be dropping during Part 2. And then the other kind of champions, I don't really want to go off of players, but more so positions, because we have 2 wide receiver champions in Garrett Wilson and Tyreek Hill. One of those probably drops this Thursday. We have 3 cornerbacks in Quinyon Mitchell, J.C. Horn, and Renardo Green, sorry. One of those players, I think J.C. Horn was kind of confirmed for Part 2, probably dropping this Thursday. Definitely going to get one of the 3 offensive linemen between Quentin Nelson, Spencer Brown, and Garrett Bowles to be dropping this Thursday. And then the other ones, I think Quay Walker, Bobby Okereke, right, 2 Mike linebackers. Want to say one of them probably dropping this Thursday. And the 5th one, you can kind of throw up to anybody. Harrison Smith, ETN, Javon Curse, Bobby Wagner potentially. We'll see one of those cards. Yeah, there's actually 3 linebackers. I forgot about Bobby Wagner. So one of them definitely dropping this Thursday. As for LTDs, you're probably going to go for the positions that are not getting cards. Maybe running back potentially, tight end, safety. It's probably the positions I'm seeing the most for Part 2. But again, we'll get those reveals. We'll probably get the confirmation from MUT Leaks sometime tomorrow, and then we'll get the official confirmation and official stats during the reveal stream Wednesday evening. Now, though, let's get into my sort of content schedule prediction. Throwing it back to the OG Market Mondays here. Yeah, I think we've done this one time so far this year, but I thought I'd bring it back because there's a lot of potential future kind of surprise drops over the next few weeks that I want to go over. So, of course, Season 3 dropping the 22nd in a few days. Team Builders is kind of that first mystery drop. we've gotten Team Builder drop once a season, and for Season 2, they did it the Wednesday following the new season. Season 2 dropped on a Wednesday. The next Wednesday, we got Team Builder content. Will it be the 29th of October? I don't know, because there's a lot of Most Feared content that week. I could definitely see them pushing it to Saturday. They loved the Saturday drops for Team Builders last year, or pushing it to the following week on maybe a Monday or a Tuesday. But Team Builders will definitely be dropping, I would say, at least during weeks 2 or 3 of the new season. They seem to want to get it out of the way early, and it also makes room, and you'll see it a little bit lower down, Team Diamonds. Team Diamonds last year actually dropped in the middle of November, whereas I think in Madden 24, it dropped more in the beginning of December. But last year it dropped in the middle of November. And that's when I have it dropping this year too. I think it could either be the 12th of November or the 19th. I like the 19th a little bit more, and I have the overall boost over Harvest, but quite frankly, it'll be on the 19th, and I would like to see Team Diamonds to come into the game alongside an overall boost. Can also expect an overall boost on the 5th or the 6th. Breakouts seems to be kind of that next promo in line. Leaks has alluded to that content the past few weeks. So expect Breakouts Part 1, Breakouts Part 2 on the 6th and the 13th. And then that kind of leads into Harvest for a few weeks. Blitz, kind of, the content that leads up until Zero Chill. Also expect a Collector Series big drop next Monday, as whenever we get a new theme, they seem to drop 5 champions as opposed to 2, as well as we get 2 legends or 2 LTDs as opposed to 1. And then Most Feared, there's a bunch of mini drops next week, because I thought we'd actually have one this week on either Tuesday or Saturday. Wasn't on the content schedule, so Leaks again has put out, there are multiple mini drops, 2.5, 3.5, so expect those to be cluttered throughout all of next week. So it should be a jam-packed content schedule, I would say, next week. When we get there. But that is, again, my prediction for content kind of over the next month, you could say, is at the game. Let's now actually head into Madden. If you want extended coverage of the market and how I make my coins, subscribe to the Coin Bible exclusively on coinbible.gg. Link in the description. First thing I want to go over, though, Collector Series content, your LTD 89 speed Vernon Davis, the fastest tight end in the game. If you don't count the Shapeshifter, by 2 speed. We also got champions Eric Dickerson and Tariq Woolen. Tariq Woolen, 91 speed. Now the fastest stock speed card in the game. And then Eric Dickerson, 90 speed, of course, on that Raiders theme team. We also did get the Collector Series Mystic Champion collection set. And may I just say, I don't like to give EA their flowers a lot. Honestly, they don't deserve flowers quite often. I really love what they've done with this collection series set. For Season 1 and Season 2, of course, I have done the set. Lucky enough, we did kind of invest, and I had all of these pre-built going into the day, and I actually was able to make over 1 million coins by selling the players back for a profit on where I bought them, and I got the free 90 overall B&D LTD. The beautiful thing about this set is there are times throughout the weeks, like at any point, where you can really do this set, and as long as you kind of get these cards for a decent price, or let's say you buy these cards wink wink on Tuesday or Wednesday, hold them and sell them potentially Friday and Saturday for a profit, you can do this set for free and or make profit, and then get a very unique card back from the set. Now, I'll be honest, the Season 1 Collector Series collection set wasn't very good because the rewards, just the LTDs were terrible. The LTDs, though, for the Mystic series are really, really good. We can actually take a look at the pack right now because I have it unopened. Make sure not to choose my Gauntlet player until Darnell Washington's in there. Now, I'm waiting to see if we do get that Lamar Jackson this Thursday, as well as just waiting for Season 3 reveals before I officially choose my card. But all these cards are really, really good. Vernon Davis is like a downgraded from his LTD, so he does lose -1 speed, which is kind of a bummer there. I think they actually gave Denzel Ward and Travis Kelce like the same speed as their upgraded LTD, as opposed to their B&D version. Micah Parsons, though, got +1 speed. Calvin Johnson got +3 speed. Taylor Mays got +2 speed. William Perry, I believe, got 5 or 6 speed, I want to say. And then Cam Newton got +1 speed, as well as Master Tactician on this card. Now, the tricky part is you can only choose one. But I kind of like that, right? You actually have to make a choice. That kind of brings me back and gives me vibes of old school MUT 12, MUT 13 collections, where now they didn't really have a thing where you only had to choose one card, but yeah, like this is a rare card. You can only choose one, and the beauty of it all too is that if you actually want to go buy the LTD Calvin Johnson, the LTD Taylor Mays, the LTD Cam Newton, they've dropped a ton in price today as a result of this set. So it's kind of a win-win for everybody. If you have this set, hey, you get a free 90 overall. If you were looking to get one of these LTDs onto your team, they've dropped a ton in price. Personally, I'm probably choosing Taylor Mays. He's on Niners and Raiders theme team. And honestly, I think he's the only card that I would kind of play, other than probably William Perry and Cam Newton. I never really want to choose a quarterback that's BND, because again, Lamar Jackson's coming out. He's probably going to be QB1 of the game this Thursday, and he'll be 500, 600K. Calvin Johnson's really, really cool. But unfortunately, he's a part of the Lions theme team, and that theme team does not seem to be getting relevance anytime soon. And, you know, again, I'm going to have receivers at 92, 93, 94 speed minimum, so he would be slower than all of them, so I don't really have a point in choosing that card. Taylor Mays, again, he's on that Raiders theme team, which is meta right now. Niners theme team is also becoming better by the day, especially with Vernon Davis coming out. And Taylor Mays kind of is a card that I don't really need a theme team to use him. He could play Mike linebacker for me as a user. I can even throw him in at slot corner if I want to, whereas that 90 speed isn't really going to be exposed by some of the fastest cars in the game. He's got that 6'3 frame. He's light on weight, so he moves really, really well. Micah Parsons would be a great choice. Unfortunately, without the Crystal Chem, I can't really choose him. And Vernon Davis, well, I got the coins for the LTD. But Vernon Davis, not a bad option if you are going to go with him. But Taylor Mays, more than likely when I eventually choose the player, will be my choice. William Perry, by the way, definitely an underrated player. But yeah, Collector Series content today. And overall throughout this year, I've thought they've done a great job with that content. Very unique. Yeah, they've done a great job. Let's get some quick things out of the way, though. Season 2, of course, wraps up in 2 days. Make sure you guys get all your XP done. Get all the way to the end where you get the Season 3 XP token or whatever at the end. And again, I've mentioned, I think, the past few Market Mondays, but I'm holding my tickets for right now just to see if the Season 3 players are really good and or if they get 32 team camps. I probably will be saving the tickets going into Season 3 because they do transfer over, and I will be able to get, I believe it's 3 players up to the max overall, as long as I'm able to get their lower overall version to be able to upgrade there. Let's now get into the market a little bit. I'm trying to keep track of everything I wanted to talk about in this video. First thing is, a lot of players as a result of content today. Oh, one thing, big thing I forgot to mention, and this will kind of go into my next segment. Max Crosby finally got added into the game. He is in the candy store, and I've already bought him, so you can't see him, but you can buy him for 200 candy, and then he takes upgrade tokens to upgrade him to a 90 overall. And yeah, he's a really good card, 86 speed stock, and of course, if you run most for your theme team with the most feared strat card, you're going to get him up to 88 speed stock, and then hey, if you're running Raiders theme team, you can get him all the way up to 91 speed. But as a result of Max Crosby coming out, we've seen, and a few other cards like Eric Dickerson, we've seen a few cards really drop in price today. One of them being Howie Long. He went from like 1.4, 1.5 mil over this weekend. He's now 700k. I bought mine for 650. Now, one thing, and it wasn't on the contest schedule, and I forgot to mention this when going over MUT Leagues. We're getting Redux this week. 89 overall Reduxes are entering the game, and they're going to be littered throughout offers over the next few weeks during Most Feared. I think MUT League said they're literally in an offer from part 2, 2.5, 3, and 3.5. They're all involved in those offers. So 89 overall Reduxes are coming to the game. I just thought Howie Long dropped too much that I was like, I'm going to buy him. I'm Raiders theme team. I didn't have him over the weekend. I picked him up for 650k. So with that being said, for LTDs, I guess if you still have 89 over LTDs, you probably do want to sell them. When it comes to buying them, since there's going to be a ton of offers over the next few weeks, there really isn't like a golden time to buy them. Understand that when you buy them, they're probably going to continue to go down because they're going to keep being supplied on the market with offers and with supplies. So let's actually go down. The 89 overall LTDs are pretty good, right? That is the likes of a lot of the Collector Series cards, like Calvin Johnson, like Taylor Mays. Cam Newton was a 90. But yeah, there still are a lot of really, really good 89 overall. Caleb Williams is an 89 overall LTD. 90 overall LTDs probably don't get Redux again for a few weeks there. Let's actually just go to catalog. I don't know why I'm going to the auction house. Catalog will be a lot easier to see the LTDs at 89 overall. Isaiah Rodgers, Brian Ray's like, yeah, these cards are still 900k. They're definitely going to go down. Tucker Kraft is 1.2 million coins. He's definitely going to drop. Even still, like Mahomes, Aaron Donald are 600k. I don't know if they're reduxing. I don't think they're reduxing gauntlet cards. Amari Cooper's not going to get redux. They don't do tribute reduxes. But yeah, There's still a ton of 89 overalls. If you have them, like I would still sell like Taylor Mays for 700k, 600k. You actually go down and look at the 88 overall LTDs, or we go to reduxes, sorry. A lot of these cards drop. Like I remember, I think it was Zach Bond was still going for like 600, 700k when they dropped, and look at it, he's 264k. Like all the reduxes now are under, you could say 300k now. I wouldn't expect all the 89 reduxes to be under 300k, but I would say at least under 500k. So, again, that means, a lot of the cards that are, again, at the 700k, I might have to sell back Howie Long. Hopefully he rebounds. The main reason why I bought him for 650 was he was still 1 million coins on PlayStation, so I felt good about buying them. But maybe I might have to resell Howie Long before he officially comes out and gets a redux card. Another card that dropped today that I think still has a lot of value long-term is Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, it looks like he's rebounded just a little bit from earlier today, but with Eric Dickerson dropping, Jahmyr Gibbs, yeah, he's rebounded a little bit. His buy window's a little bit gone. He was 2.3, 2.4 mil over this weekend. The lowest I saw him today was like 1.2, 1.3 mil. And again, if you're not running Raiders theme team, he is still the best running back in the game. And he's just really, really good in game. And again, he's a 90 overall LTD, so he won't get reduxed again for a few weeks. So if you're kind of waiting to pick up Jahmyr Gibbs, maybe not 1.8 mil, maybe try to get him for like 1.4, 1.5. Maybe he swings back down a little bit. But yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs is another card that has drastically fallen in price today as a result of the content. Overall, though, when it comes to like upgrading your team and stuff, I would still wait until season 3, because who knows, we might get another running back at 90 speed with all 32 team counts that really makes Jahmyr Gibbs go down in price. And again, we'll know those tomorrow, so you don't have to wait that long. Not like waiting a week for those cards to get revealed. As for most feared content is a bit weird. I've already told Coin Bible members this, so I do not mind telling you guys this. I don't really think there is going to be any pre-build opportunities for most feared content. The 87 overalls, this is the cheapest I've actually seen them at 130k. But like to pre-build a 90 overall most feared card, it's like 550k. Now, 87 overalls have gone down a bit today. You can actually now get them for around 70,000 coins if you're lucky. 75k is probably the going rate, I would say, for them. But I mean, most feared 87s are still, again, 130k. So let me get my calculator out really, really quick. That's, if I just go 130 times 3 plus 150, that's 540k to pre-build a most feared set. It's just really, really expensive. And honestly, these most feared 87s are probably not going to come down in price that much, because they are, again, tied for kind of the cheapest candy, like alternate currency. So, and it was kind of like this with Zero Chill, if you can remember last year, or any kind of promo with alternate currency, is that the heroes just aren't really ever going to get to a super good price to pre-build, because they're artificially inflated by the value of candy. As for 90 overalls, though, this is one thing I'm pretty confident in, and again, I'm kind of dating this back to Zero Chill from last year, because that's, again, the best example I can give of most feared champions, and we saw this past Thursday, is the time to buy most feared champions is actually early on when the content drops, especially the older cards, because you're going to get a lot of people opening packs and stuff like that. The 90 overalls are initially going to drop in price, but again, just like 87 overalls, they eventually just slowly rise back in price over the weekend, because they're the best candy value. We saw these 90 overalls initially this past Thursday at their lowest, like 350k. By Thursday evening, every single 90 overall was like 475, 500k. Now, they've come back down a little bit to 400k, and it seems to be, if I remember right from Zero Chill, kind of every single big drop, so part 2 and then part 3, they will drop and probably get down to like 350, 375, and that's kind of where they'll stay at. But there should be an opportunity to get like the part 1 champions, hopefully for like around 300k, and that's when you're going to want to pick them up. Again, it doesn't matter what card. Like, I don't think Derrick Henry, quite frankly, is that good of a card. He's a little bit bulky. You can't speed boost with him. I don't think he's that good. Even you could say Chris Jones, 74 speed tackle. He's not that good of a card. JOK, not that great of a card. But they're all going to go up in price, because they're all just a candy quick sell. So it doesn't really matter how good the card is or how bad the card is. They're the flat line, the baseline is just it's gonna rise throughout the weekend, as people want to get more upgrade tokens, upgrade their Max Crosby, upgrade their shapeshifters, upgrade their Ryan Shazier. So if you want 90 overall most feared cards, look to get them and buy them, especially the older ones. Look to get them as they're being supplied through offers in packs in the first hour or two of Most Feared Part 2 on Thursday. But I think that's all that I really wanted to cover in this video. There's not really too much else to go off. Like I said, I'm not really doing much pre-build content or pre-building investing. I think overall the market is just a bit too expensive. I haven't really looked much into the 88. Like, yeah, I guess the 88 market dropped a bit today. But again, if we just compare this to the last overall phase, at this point in the last overall phase, 87 overalls, which is the 88 overalls in this era, were already under 100k. That just shows you how expensive the market truly is right now. Really, 87 overalls finally being in like the 70s. Honestly, they probably can get a bit cheaper because again, the pre-build price, there's nothing holding up the price of 87 overall game time cards. Again, the Most Feared pre-build, no one's really doing that. It's a bit too overpriced. These cards honestly can get under 70k. There's really no demand. There's no use for these cards other than doing Most Feared sets. And again, the Most Feared champion sets aren't good right now. But yeah, like again, looking at 88 overalls, these cards need to get down to like under 100k if you want to start buying them for the next overall era. But again, that just kind of shows how inflated right now the market is. One thing with Season 3 dropping, we could see a bit of a market drop on Wednesday. And the reason I say that is the premium Season 3 pass, because when you initially buy the pass, right? Now, again, the actual, but it's like these packs right here. So I wouldn't really say the starter packs won't be too bad. Like these should be probably these should probably be 87, 88 overall. So this is where we could potentially see 87 overalls super drop. But also you get like a pack like this where this should be what? If it was 85 and 88 overalls, when Season 2, I'm trying to remember, when Season 2 dropped, we were probably at 88 overall champion. So this offer right here should be 87 or a 90 overall B&D player. Now, again, that's not directly supplying cards to the market, but it is, you know, putting a card in someone's binder and then they're going to go sell their replacement. So, and we actually saw when Season 2 dropped, that was when we kind of had, I believe it was was that when we had the auction house kind of go down for a bit? I can't remember if that was the exact date, but I remember right, Season 2 was a big market drop day. Now, it was an overall boost day for Season 2, and it's not that for Season 3, but I still think we see an overall market drop on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday, that is. Because of those premium pass offers and kind of just, you know, initially supplying cards. A lot of people buy the premium pass. A lot of people are going to be getting a lot of free B&D cards. But I think that's all for Market Monday. I really wish we had the Season 3 cards to show for the, you know, the video today, but we will be getting those probably tomorrow. And I will see you guys all in the next video. And until then, peace.